What's your name, sir? Hello, sir.
Yeah, hi, give me a moment.
What's your name, sir?
It's already written in the left corner.
First time.
Hi, Sulap, Miss Sarah.
So okay, good morning, everyone. Hope you all are good. So last
Good
time,
morning,
that means yesterday. Good morning.
Morning, sir.
Good morning. So yesterday we were talking about the firewall, right? How firewall secure our network, right?
Okay.
You understand that firewall. Guys, mute your mic, please. Please mute your mic. If you have any question, then you can unmute and ask. But
Okay.
so last time we talk about the firewall, right? We understand that network is kind of gate, having gate but no security guard. Yes or no? So now, in order to, so that anybody can come inside, anybody can go outside, right? So we need to deploy security guard in physical office. Yes or no? Similar, your network also, right? With gate router you have, but no security guard, unrestricted access. Anybody from inside can send any data outside, and anybody from outside can come inside. Yes or no? We understand that in the digital communication, communication happens in the form of packets. Packets are having two parts, header and data. Header is having control information, that means address such as source address, destination address, source port, destination port, and so on. Yes or no? And data is having actual data which is being requested from destination or which has been sent to the destination. Yes or no? That is the data we also call as payload. Get a mind? So we understand the transfer protocol, right? Like in the physical transport, we have road transport, train transport, air transport. Similarly, the packet has to be carried from source to destination, right? Who is responsible for sending the packet from source to destination, carrying the packet from source to destination? Transport protocol, right? There are two type protocol, TCP and UDP. I hope you have gone through the difference between TCP and UDP. Yes or no? I have given this homework. Three-way handshake and TCP, that is very important. So I hope you guys have gone through the video on YouTube that I have asked you to go through. So we understand that now from security perspective, the same work is done by the firewall. What work is done by the physical security guard, right? Same work is done by, similar work is done by the firewall in digital security. Yes or no? So firewall generally we place, let me draw the architecture. So you can see firewall is ideally will be behind the router, behind the gate. You will have the firewall, right? You understand that firewall is a router is which layer device? Layer number Three,
Layer
right?
3 device.
Three device.
Yes, in ASI model, OSI model, this one router is layer 3 device because it works based on the IP address, right? It understands the IP address. That's the reason we call as layer 3 device. Switch is layer. What is the layer device? Switch. Which layer?
Layer 2 device.
Layer 2 device, right? Because it understands final communication happen on a switch using the MAC address, right? That's the reason we call as switch is layer 2 device. And firewall?
Layer 3 and 4. 3 and 4.
Yes,
Layer
3 and 4 because firewall understand the IP address as well as port number, transport protocol, TCP, UDP. That's the reason your firewall is layer 3 and layer 4 protocol. Yes or no? So nowadays, some digital switches are coming. Nowadays, there are some digital switches, right? Which can understand layer 2 also and layer 3 also. That means it can do the switching also and routing also. Example is your home switch, home router. Home, you take the internal connection, it has the inbuilt switch and router both. It was actually the digital switch, which works on the layer 2 as well as layer 3. We need not to place two devices like one is switch and one is router, right? One device will function switch also as well as a router. Get it? Similarly, nowadays there are router also which are digital router coming working on the layer 3 as well as layer 4, means doing the routing also, right? And understand the port number and protocol also. Get it? So if anybody asks you on which number, on which layer switch works, you have to tell layer number 2 only, but you can tell that nowadays some digital switches are coming which can even work on the layer number 3. Similarly, anybody ask routers on which layer? Layer 3, but digital routers are working on layer number 3 as well as layer number 4, right? So these kind of security policy that we have in the firewall, right? Many of the router also having this kind of security policy like firewall. You can block or allow any traffic, any IP you can block, any IP you can allow on the router also, right? If somebody asks you why do we have firewall then if you have router? Yes or no? A router is especially in routing, not for security. Small companies, you can even small companies like home lab kind of environment or very small environment, right? You can even buy a router itself and you may have some security feature in the router itself. Get it? Because the router is also coming now layer number 4, misunderstanding the port number and protocols, right? So you can allow block something on the router itself, but in corporate network, enterprise network is not recommended because router main work is to route the traffic, not to secure the traffic, not to filter out the traffic. For filtering, we should have different device that is called as firewall. Get it? That is the reason if we start blocking and start working on the router, it will be, its resources will be overutilized, right? And as well as the security feature, different features that you have in the firewall, you cannot achieve from the router because again, if you put all the feature, router will become the firewall. Yes or no? Then we will not call as a router. We call it as a firewall. Router will have the basic security feature, right? Where you can allow and block any traffic, right? It is not recommended in the corporate network, enterprise network. Enterprise network, we have the firewall for that. But sometime when we have like very critical, very, sometimes very suspicious traffic is coming, right? So you have option to block it on the router also. You may block in the router also, firewall also, and some other devices as well, right? But it's not recommended to block everything or allow everything on the router, any policies, right? Only routing, it's recommended to create the routing, not the security on the router. However, you understand that router is also having capability to block or allow anything because it understands now port number and protocol as well. Understand? So you don't think that your corporate network will be like this only, where you have one router, one switches. Get it? You don't think that. You will have many switches. One network to another network. It's not something that 10.0.0.1 to 10.0.0.255 or 255, like only one network. There will be subdivided to small network. This whole network, 10 network or 172 network, internet network will be subdivided into multiple small network. We call as VLAN also. Small subnet or a small VLANs, virtual LANs. Get it? So you'll have multiple switches as well as you have multiple internal routers also. When you, so it is a 10 network, right? But you can virtually you can subdivide this network to multiple small network. Now even the IV belongs to 10 network only can be the part of different network. Get in mind? You know what I'm saying? So in that case, you need to deploy the router. Internet. This router is on gateway. That's why we call it gateway router, perimeter router. However, here you will have a small different network. So again, you will have to place the routers. Whenever you know that it's the same network, by seeing just an IP address, you cannot see it's the same network. It depends what your network team has divided. There might be possible that 10.0.0.2 belongs to one network and 10.0.0.15 belongs to other network. How they have subdivided, right? We should know from the network team how whether part of same network or different subnet. Get in mind? So you have different subnet, different network. In that case, we have to place the router. Same network, same subnet, we have to place the switches, right? So maybe you have 100 of switches. Means switches are more than routers. Ideally, switches will be in the company will be more. You may have 100 of big companies. You will have 100 of switches, even more than that, and 50-60 routers, internal routers. Get in mind? So this is a perimeter router on the gateway. We call it. So what happens is your internet will come, right? Let's say you have taken the internet from ACT, right? ACT Act 518. So internet connection will be terminated on the router. Means you will plug in the cable on the router. Router may have multiple WAN ports just for load balance or failovers. In case this internet connection is now, you have also taken connection from other company, so it will work like that, right? So this router is on gateway. Ideally you will have a router. However, you understand that firewall also work on the layer 3 and layer 4. Layer 3 means routing, means firewall can also do the routing. Yes or no? Because firewall has the understanding on layer 3 as well. So some company may eliminate this router and directly deploy the firewall on the perimeter. Get it right? Firewall will do the routing also and security also. Because firewall also layer 3 device, right? We understand IP address, can do the routing. But we have done the same thing in the lab environment. We have not terminated the internet on the router. We have directly placed the firewall. A small network, it is fine. But in the enterprise network, it is recommended to have separate device to perform the separate function, right? In your company, in our company, we have one HR who is recruiting also, processing the salary also. Yes, hello. Processing the salary also, and operation different HR work is done by the same team or same person. But in the enterprise environment, you have HR department, but the recruitment team will be different. Operations team will be different. Yes or no? Who are processing the salary, that team will be different. Even the part of HR only, but separate. Yes or no? Everybody is specialist on their field. What will happen if in a corporate company, one person will do everything? It will be he will be overloaded. He cannot perform all the function properly. That's the reason we have separate people. But a small company, they will have one person is doing all activities. Yes or no? Similarly, in the small companies, you may replace the router and do the firewall only. It will do the routing also and security also. But in the corporate, on the enterprise network, we should have different separate standalone devices. Get in mind? We should have standalone device to perform the different function. In the corporate environment, always maximum time you will see the internet connection will be terminated on the gateway router. It's gateway, we call it gateway router, perimeter router. Yes or no? Then behind that, usually you will have the firewall. So routing is already done by the router. Then security will be done by the firewall. Filtering will be done by the firewall. Get in mind? We are generally not blocking anything. We are not creating any filtering rule on the router. Get in mind? Filtering rule means traffic filtering rule. Security rule will have been on the firewall. So you understand, you may have internal multiple switches and multiple router internal also. It's not something like so normal general network I have designed. That's why you can have mention one router, one switch. Similarly, firewall also. I'll tell you the just after explaining this rule, I'll explain you that firewall also you will have multiples. I'll tell you different network. In your network also, it's not only one internal network. You may have to define this network on multiple zones. Depend on particular zone carrying what kind of data and criticality of data, as well as accessibility of the data. Get in mind? How critical is the data? Some data is not very critical. Some server carrying very critical data, PCI, PI information. payment card industry information. Yes or no? Carrying, keeping credit card, debit card, user ID, password, and some personal identification information. Those are very critical servers. Will have more security, more tight security. Yes or no? Some server has to become access to the outside. So based on those requirements, you will have the different success policy here. Some devices are internal only, so not anybody from outside should not be able to communicate those server. Those who call it internal zone. Yes or no? So different zone will have different accessibility requirement and will have to set different security policies. Get mind? So I'll explain you. I'll explain you in a few moments. Once I explain the WAF here, we'll talk about the zones. So I wanted to say that firewall also you will have multiple. This firewall is on gateway. That's why you call gateway firewall or perimeter firewall. Get mind? Gateway or perimeter. However, you will have many internal firewall also, right? So once I finish the WAF, then I'll be talking about the this one zones, right? So what happens is you understand, right, what I have discussed so far. So you understand last class that you understand, right, firewall will have visibility only on the header, not on the data, layer 3 and layer 4 information. Based on that, it will filter out inbound and outbound both policies will you will create, or if have the ACL, dynamic ACL, which will be updated by the vendor. Based on that, firewall will decide what has to be allowed, what has to be blocked or disallowed. Get my mind? So now we understand last class that there might be some scenario where the traffic is going on the valid port number 443, for example, right? And maybe IP address is not suspicious, right? In that case, firewall will allow the traffic, but may be possible that attacker has run some malicious command on the data packet. Some malicious command, right? Data packet means actual payload. What is being requested and what is being delivered will be mentioned, will be there on the data package. That we call a payload, right? So your firewall does not have understanding on the data part. It only filter out the traffic based on the header, source IP, destination IP, source port, destination port protocol. Yes or no? Means in case we understand, right? In the website you'll have the backend database. Yes or no? So what query what thing you are requesting will be part of data packet, data part, and it will be executed on the application. The application will run the query to the backend database server to retrieve the query. May be possible that attacker has mentioned some malicious query here, and resulting it will be executed on the database. Resulting database may be deleted, modified, altered, or anything. Yes or no? So you can say that even though we have the firewall, still our network is not fully secure, because in case IP is malicious, port is malicious, firewall can capture it. But what if it is coming from legitimate IP, a well-known allowed port number? In that case, firewall will be failed to detect what kind of command it is running, what kind of query it is, because firewall, this is network layer firewall, does not have visibility on the data packet, data part of the packet. Yes or no? In this case, we need to deploy one more layer of security control, that is called as what we call as WAF. WAF, WAF, web application firewall. WAF, web application firewall, right? Generally you see, right? Generally you'll see, let's say SIEM XPERT, right? SIEM XPERT has some applications like SIEM XPERT website, SIEMXPERT.com, right? And some of the business applications which are hosted internal to your network, but we have to give the access to the outside people also. Yes or no? Web applications, right? Because only web application will be accessible for outside people. Internal people, direct attacker, direct outside people cannot go to the internal network, right? But there will be scenario where we have to give the access of internal resources, means server like SIEMXPERT.com website, web application, right, to the outside people. Yes or no? Let's say this is the SIEM XPERT website. in this server, SIEM XPERT website is hosted. Get what I'm saying? In this server, SIEM XPERT website is hosted, right? So I want to give access to SIEMXpert.com to outside people, right? So of course, if I want to give the access to this particular website, then this server should have which IP, public or private? Should have public IP, right? Then only it can be accessible.
Public.
Private IP, you cannot access from outside, right? So let's say I have assigned the IP 199.0.5.100. You make sure that you understand that internal computers are only accessing internet outside. It will map net the IP and go to the internet. Yes or no? But if you want any of your server, any of your services should be accessed by outside people directly, SIEMXpert.com or any application through web, right? Then those applications should have the public IP. Without public IP, you cannot give the access because internal IP will not be identified. Yes or no? So the server, the applications, right, which you want to give access to the publicly outside people should be having the public IP, not the private IP. Okay. So this particular, let's say SIEMXpert.com has been given public IP, right? So now this was the, for example, attacker, right? So now this particular server should be accessible for everyone on port number 443 because website is HTTPS and can be accessed on port number 443. Yes or no? So I have created the role in the firewall. So if any connection coming from any IP means any source IP towards this particular destination IP, any source IP should be any, destination should be this particular port, and destination so particular IP and destination port could be 443. Then traffic should be allowed until unless the IP is not blacklisted. Get a mind? So what will happen is, let's say for example the connection is came, firewall will check connection is coming on 443 port number and IP is not malicious, right? In that case, firewall will allow the traffic because 443 port number is coming on, right? If same user is same person is accessing traffic, sending some packet on some other port number, let's say 445, as per the rule, firewall will deny the traffic because we want to give this access only on port number 443. Means you should be able to access the website through browser. You can't do the SSH, you can't do the telnet. Yes or no? Other services are not allowed, means coming from outside to this particular server on other port number other than 443 should be disallowed by the firewall. Yes or no? But in this case, traffic has been allowed because traffic is on this server towards 443. But in the data packet, firewall does not know what is there in the data packet. Maybe some malicious command is there to delete the database, to modify the database, possible, right? But firewall does not have visibility what the person is doing because firewall cannot open the data part. Get in mind? In that case, there are chances that attacker can modify, can delete, alter the database, right? In that case, means that is data packet is the application layer. Because only application can see the data. Yes or no? What is there on the data packet? Only application can see. So that is the application layer information. Presentation and application layer number 6 and layer number 7 information. Yes or no? But firewall work on the layer number 3 and layer number 4 only. So that means in that case, we have some security control which can understand layer number 6 and layer number 7. Generally, we call it application layer, right? So we should have a device which can understand what is there on the data packet so that it can filter whether the query or command that you have run is legitimate or not, has been allowed or not. I can allow or disallow any malicious query, any malicious command. But I cannot do that on the network security layer, firewall layer 3, layer 4 firewall. Yes or no? So in that case, I have to introduce one more security device that is called as web application firewall. The name itself suggests web application. Firewall means security, right? So web application security means the device which secure the web application, which we call as web application firewall. So web application firewall is only for web application, not for all the traffic. This firewall is for all traffic. whatever traffic coming on which all port number, it will go through this perimeter firewall. Some gateway, that's the thing we call gateway firewall or perimeter firewall. However, only traffic which is going towards your web application will pass through WAF, not all traffic. Yes or no? Name itself suggests web application firewall. That means web application security. Any application which are accessible through web will have to secure it using the web application firewall. Other traffic, you are sending email, you're accessing a website, right? You're going outside, sending some data, will not be passing through WAF. Only the traffic which are going towards or going outside from the web application will be going through web application firewall. Understand? This funda is clear? Get in mind? So again, so what will happen is web application firewall. So let's say this is a switch. For example, this is a switch. Again, you not have only one application only, you will have multiple applications. Yes or no? You will have multiple, it's not the big company, you will have multiple applications. So let's say this.
मुझे एक डाउट है
Yes, any question?
सर अभी बैंक में ना वैफ ऑनबोर्ड किया है, ठीक है, तो फिर वैफ पे क्या हो रहा है कि जैसे कि वो कौन सी भी इंटरनल यूआरएल एक्सेस कर रहा है तो वहाँ पे ना ब्लॉकेज आ रहा है, जैसे कि 10 यूआरएल ब्लॉक हो रहे हैं, 10 ब्लॉक लॉग्स मिल रहे हैं उनको और वो डेली सेंड कर रहे हैं, तो फिर वो उसके ऊपर जस्टिफिकेशन मांग रहे हैं, पर वो यूआरएल है ना वो जेन्युइन है और वो अलाउडेड भी है, तो फिर भी वो ब्लॉक क्यों हो रही है वहाँ पे ऑन वैफ?
Means user is accessing something you are telling?
हाँ लाइक जैसे कि
Go ahead.
हाँ, बैंक ऑफ महाराष्ट्र की इंटरनल यूआरएल है, वो एक्सेस करने के लिए हमने एक एप्लीकेशन दिया है ईएमएम करके, ठीक है, वो उस ब्राउजर से वो एक्सेस कर रहा है, वेब ब्राउजर से इंटरनल वेबसाइट बैंक ऑफ महाराष्ट्र की, ओके, वो वेब के थ्रू ट्रैफिक अंदर जा रहा है, ठीक है, जैसे कि एक यूजर है उसको डायरेक्टली एक यूआरएल एक्सेस करनी है, पर वो एक्सेस कर रहा है ना, पर उस टाइम वो ब्लॉक में जा रहा है और वो जो लॉग्स है ना मुझे शेयर हो रहा है, क्योंकि वो जेन्युइन यूजर है, फिर भी वो ब्लॉक में जा रहा है.
See, let me tell you that is called a proxy, and web application firewall is a reverse proxy. I'll tell you about the proxy after this. I'll tell you the proxy. It's not something that's automatically being blocked. Anything being blocked internally, you have the option to allow anytime. Get in mind, you might have the generic policy which have been blocked to all such traffic. You have to identify, okay, these are internal user, these are outside user. If any internal traffic is coming, it should be allowed. Get in mind, based on requirement. However, that is the concept of proxy, not for the web application firewall, right? Web application firewall is to secure your web application from outside people. Proxy is just opposite, to secure you from outside applications. I'll tell you once I cover the proxy, then you will understand it is vice versa. Means the proxy is just opposite of your web application firewall. That's the reason web application firewall, because reverse proxy, while the other solution that I will be talking about called as proxy. Let's understand web first, then I'll tell you how you can allow, disallow, how you can regulate which all website your people can access and which all website they cannot access. How you can manage, how you get the report, everything I'll be explaining you here. Okay, so you understand, right? Okay. This is a switch. This is the switch, right? Using switch, you have multiple. Mute your mic, please. Guys, mute your mic. Because in a big company, you'll have multiple application, right, which will be accessible from outside. You might have switch here, where 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all different. Who is not on mute, please mute your mic. Anybody who is not on mute will be removed from the meeting. You are not listening to class, why you are joining? Manas. ये बंदा म्यूट नहीं कर रहा है, तो रिमूव करना पड़ेगा इसको मीटिंग से। Okay, so so you know, right, you might have multiple applications, right, which are hosted here. So if these applications you want to allow to be accessible from outside, which IP you have to configure? Public IP on each and every system. Yes or no? On each and every system you have to configure the public IP. But since multiple applications there are, we have connected using the switch. You might have again one router here because one network, another network. Yes or no? So these are the applications, right? So I have to secure these applications from outside. Then I will not deploy the WAF here. Where I have to deploy the WAF? Somewhere here. Yes or no? Somewhere behind the, before the web applications. Yes or no?
Switches.
Somewhere before the web applications. Yes or no? So any traffic coming in, it coming through these firewalls, this firewall, right? And filtering it. So as per the rule, any traffic coming in and destination IP belongs to these server IPs and port number 443 should be allowed by this firewall. But it does not have visibility to data packet, then data part will be filtered by this WAF, web application firewall. Again, it will have dynamic and static ACL, right? As per the various queries on the dynamic table, ACL will be updated by the cloud, right? Various malicious commands that attacker may run, right? It will include those various commands which are suspicious. If data packet, if WAF come to know the particular data packet is some malicious command, it will block by the WAF, right? And the static list also, you can block or allow anything, to make the policy to block or allow anything. Get in mind, you might have seen sometime, right? Let's say you are seeing some website, you have to enter username and password, right? If 2 times if you enter incorrect password, it will start giving the captcha. Yes or no? That is again the functionality of web application firewall. It understands that somebody accessing a wrong username, it might be kind of brute force attack. Somebody is trying to compromise other people's credentials by trying multiple passwords, right? WAF can give the captcha to you to identify whether you are a human and you are the right person who are entering the password. Yes or no? That also will come through web application firewall, right? Web application firewall is generally for securing the web applications. Traffic coming from outside and accessing the web applications. To understand the data packet, will have the web application firewall, WAF. Get in mind? So you know what? These network, the full network, so you understand, right? This firewall is only for these applications, web application security. Get in mind? So your whole network, there might be chances. You can see there might be chances might be the wrong person who has entered the network, right? Maybe he is coming over here, but maybe if he's here, maybe he can try to go inside by trying some other way. Yes or no? Because he has already penetrated the firewall, he's already passed the firewall. Maybe by coming here, he can go somewhere here also. Yes or no? So this area is called a demilitarized area. This zone is called a demilitarized zone because demilitarized means anybody knows what do you mean by just meaning of demilitarized? Military, demilitary.
Is not critical, is it?
Demilitarized means
जैसे कि वो इंटरनेट को जो एक्सेस करने वाले हैं वो सर्वर पूरे डीएमजे में है.
So where there is no security,
where you are allowed to go in, where you are allowed. Demilitarized means demilitarized, we call a DMZ in short form, means you are allowed. Military zone में जा सकते हो क्या? आप नहीं जा सकते ना. You can't go to military area, right? That is military area, means fully secure. Military means security. Yes or no? So this area is called a demilitarized area because it's a part of your internal network. Still outside people can go here and access. That's the reason this zone we call a demilitarized zone. Means it's allowed for outside people. Either it is hosted internal to your network only, but outside people also allowed to access these resources. So this zone is called as DMG zone, means demilitarized zone. DMG, demilitarized zone. Yes or no? DM means demilitarized, Z means zone, demilitarized zone. Yes or no? So your network will be divided multiple zone based on the security, right? So now you can see here anybody can go inside, right? So here you might have another firewall. You will have to deploy another firewall here so that people who came inside here cannot go. This firewall may have the broad policies, broad rule, so that it filters the traffic to go here and go here. But somebody came here can go here also. So you may have another firewall here. So anybody even pass through this firewall, the traffic malicious should not go to the internal network. Get in mind? For more security, robust security, because you have to secure your internal network, right? Outside people should not be allowed to go inside. They are allowed to go here, but not here. Yes or no? So you'll have more security to your internal resources, which should not be accessible from outside. You may have to deploy another firewall here. Yes or no? So this is network security firewall only, not web application. Web application only for here. Get in mind? So this, or sometime, sometime based on the DMG, you might have another firewall here also, network firewall, depending on the company to company. Then you may have the WAF here. So this firewall you might be calling a DMG firewall. Get in mind? This is a gateway firewall, this is DMG firewall, this is internal firewall. This is DMG zone. This is internal zone. This is internal zone, internal resources. Might be, you might have some other zone also that is called a PCI zone. You might have another switch and other computer here also here, the servers, right? That is called a PCI zone. And you might have one more firewall here that is called as PCI firewall, payment card based on the data we are handling. PCI firewall. This firewall has the more robust rule, because PCI means the servers which are carrying the payment card information, right? PCI or PI information. So it does not mean that people who are internal should be able to access those data. Those are very critical data, right? So you will have very tight security here, very tight rule here. Even people inside cannot access those. Only legitimate, only authenticate people, only respective people should be able to access. Get in mind? So it will have another rule. People who are internal people also cannot go and log in on those servers. Yes or no? Only special people who are handling those kind of data should have access, right? Or an attacker will come inside, should not be able to go and log in on the go and access the PCI data, right? So you'll have another firewall, very tight rule to access the PCI related data. Yes or no? PCI very critical, means directly money, right? Not all attacks are directly taking money, but this attack means username and password means directly money you will get. At the end of the day, whatever compromise happen at brute force or SQL injection, DDoS, at the end, all the attacks are for money only, right? But here, getting the username, password, credit card, debit card information means directly money. Yes or no? So this will have very tight rule. So this zone will call as DMG zone. PCI zone. Get it right? So your network may be subdivided with I'm not saying that every company will have the PCI zone. Some company may have different zone based on what kind of data they are handling, right? But they are subdividing the network. Yes or no? Based on the criticality of the data, based on the accessibility. What kind of people will have what kind of access? Yes or no? These kind of data should be, servers should be accessible from outside. Different zone we have created. This zone only for internal people. Internal people can access those servers in the system. Internal zone. PCI zone handling payment card information, but not everybody should have access. PCI zone, right? Another firewall. So you might, so in the corporate network, you will not have only one firewall. You may have 4 or 5 firewall.
Sir, I have a question.
Yes.
सर बहुत सारी डिफेंस सिस्टम्स में ऐसा होता है कि वो लोग जैमर इंस्टॉल करके रखते हैं, तो वी आर नॉट एबल टू कम्युनिकेट विद देम. मिलिट्री एरियाज में सर। सर तो जैसे उनको अपना वो एक्सेस करना है, इंटरनेट एक्सेस करना है, तो हाउ दे विल मैनेज?
भैया जैमर इज नॉट फॉर देम, जैमर फॉर आउटसाइड पीपल, है ना?
यस सर।
आया मोबाइल एक्सेस किया, कोई डेटा बता दिया बाहर, है ना?
यस
So
सर।
here firewall also you have, right? Firewall for outside people, unauthorized
Yes.
people. Authorized
Yes.
people, you must create a policy yourself. Yes or no?
Yes,
Similarly
sir.
for jammer or any other device, you want to block unauthorized people, right? Not unauthorized, authorized people. Authorized people, you will have some other, you may have whitelisted the network or some devices or on those things. Okay, maybe they are having some other wireless devices which are not impacted with jammer. Multiple, ऐसा थोड़ी है कि jammer होगा सभी block हो जाएगा. Yes or no? Then they will not be able, if they install the jammer, that means there is no signal. Then they will not be able to communicate themselves with their internal people, right? It is not happening. Means they have ways to allow the legitimate people. Okay, so jammer, you hear about jammer. Jammer is actually a device which can restrict the signals. भैया यहाँ बिल्कुल सिग्नल, अब जाओ कहीं कहीं जगह, you go some places where you see there is no signal in your mobile. So maybe possibly jammer has been installed so that it restricting the signals. Okay, so so you understand, right? You might have multiple firewalls for extra security, even though you have the perimeter firewall, DMZ firewall, internal firewall. You may have PCI firewall, right? So in your company, you will not have any one firewall. You will have multiple firewalls. In the enterprise network, bigger network, enterprise level, you will have multiple firewall. It is recommended to go with the multi-vendor firewalls, not a same vendor. Because let's say if you bought Cisco firewall here, Cisco firewall has some vulnerability. Attacker has compromised this. Of course, this vulnerability has not been known by Cisco. That's the reason Cisco has not patched it. This is also Cisco firewall. This is also Cisco firewall. Means attacker can go anywhere, access anything. The network is open for him because all Cisco firewall, all are Cisco firewall, and all are having same vulnerability, same weakness. Yes or no? Got your mind? And maybe possible that some IP which has been suspicious, Cisco firewall does not have entry, but checkpoint firewall, Palo Alto world is having it entry, right? That's the reason it is recommended to go with the multi-vendor device, not the same vendor. Yes or no? So any vulnerability is there, right? It does not happen that your full network is compromised. So always. Next generation, I'll tell you now. Once I discuss all the different devices, then I'll talk about next one. Okay. Next generation firewall have all the feature. This firewall also another feature also. Yes.
Sir, antivirus or firewall, I mean, both are same, sir.
No, antivirus is different and firewall is different. Antivirus also discuss here. अभी आप सिर्फ firewall discuss किया ना, अभी antivirus छोड़ दो. I'll discuss about the antivirus. Okay. Antivirus may have the host firewall. Yes. Any question?
Yeah, sir. We can we use host based WAF? Means application
host-based WAF. See, host-based WAF, you can use that, but if you have only one server, then use host-based WAF, right? You have multiple servers, then of course you have to get separate rules for each and every client. It is recommended to have one in your network. It is easy to manage. Yes or no? Instead of installing the WAF on each client-based host is coming. This host-based WAF is also coming, right? So in that case, you have to install on each and every system, right? This system you have different policy. It's centralized. It's easy to manage on the network. It's easy to manage because you have same policies, similar policies. One centralized system to manage, right? So client-based is also coming, but most of the time preferable is network-based. Okay.
Sir, can we update
checkpoint?
Sir.
Checkpoint and firewall both are under the same category or both are different, sir? Firewall and checkpoint.
It's not a firewall. Checkpoint is a vendor name. They have multiple product. One of the product is firewall. Get it? Like Cisco is the vendor. Similarly, Checkpoint, Fortinet are the vendors. They're having security product. firewall is one of the product of Checkpoint. Yes.
Okay, sir.
Sir, sir, can we modify Checkpoint ACL from the Cisco Cloud ACL?
No. Both a separate vendor, right? Both a separate vendor. Checkpoint ACL means it will be built by Checkpoint. This one only, right? They are not giving. So it's like different product. Let's say you are saying that can we use this steering, Honda का steering क्या हम लोग पालो उसमें डाल सकते हैं क्या Mercedes में? Both are different vendor, right? Different product. Similarly, of course, the feed, the signature that Cisco will provide, they will provide only for Cisco firewall, not for Checkpoint. Right? I mean, so they will have, both are different company altogether, different vendor altogether. There is no sync between those vendors. Okay, got it?
Just to update signatures.
No, just to see, updating signature is the main thing. If you're not updating signature, not a firewall, right? Signature means that is a rule that firewall used to filter the traffic, right? Not just to update the vendor. Vendor is the that signature is the main thing. Yes or no? Based on that, firewall decide allow or disallow. It cannot be done. Both are separate vendor and separate devices. Okay, got it?
And sir, what about stateless and stateful? What about stateless and stateful?
That you have to differentiate, you have to go through. I have explained you about the firewall feature. There are multiple stateful, deep packet inspection. There are multiple firewall. That's the homework for you. You want to go through in deep, that you have to do your research. Okay. Otherwise, this class will become the firewall class. Anyway, those are not actual topic. Just to give you the brief about the network, I am discussing it. It's not a firewall class, or it's not your WAF or proxy class. Get it? It's mostly class for SOC, for SIEM. But in order to work on SOC and SIEM, you should have the basic understanding.
तो जितना ज्यादा फायरवॉल हम लोग यूज कर रहे हैं सिस्टम में, जैसे पीसीआई है, प्राइवेट कार्ड इंफॉर्मेशन, ये जितने फायरवॉल यूज करेंगे तो उतना ही ज्यादा हमारा कॉस्ट पड़ेगा सर, मेंटेनेंस उतना ही कॉस्ट।
ऑफ कोर्स कॉस्ट होगा, मल्टीपल फायरवॉल में मल्टीपल कॉस्ट, बट सिक्योरिटी इज वेरी क्रिटिकल, राइट? सिक्योरिटी इज वेरी क्रिटिकल थिंग्स, यू कैन नॉट compromise with that. If you save the cost, do not deploy it and compromise your network. Yes or no? It's compulsion. It's compulsion. It's a compliance policies for the government. Yes or no? You're not deploying PCI. PCI have very strict rule. Even internal people also cannot access it directly. You will have jump server. Through one jump server, you access that jump server, then take the remote access of these devices. You cannot directly access from here to here. That even a very tight security policies will be there, so that only authorized people, and few people will have access. Not everybody. Few people will have access to those kind of data. Okay, so that is about the WAF, and that is about the different zones. PCI zone, you have internal zone, you have demilitarized zones. So network has been subdivided to the multiple zones. So different zone will have different policies based on the data or the communication is happening based on the accessibility. Yes, any question?
Sir, good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Firewall have by default role is there implicit deny. What it means?
Which role?
Implicit deny.
So that is means you can deny anything. You can explicit deny or implicit deny, right? So you can block anything. That will be called as some firewall will call it implicit, or some firewall will call it explicit deny. Means you can do it. You can configure it based on the rule. If firewall deny, that will call as implicit deny.
Inbound rule.
Yes.
Good morning. So please explain at firewall what should be proper, that is whitelisting or blacklisting.
We talked about last time that in the dynamic ACL, static ACL, you can whitelist or blacklist anything, right? So you want that certain user, certain IPs or vendor IP should be allowed, right? You can create a static policies, and you can create that, okay, coming connection from these IPs to this destination should be allowed, or connection from these IPs, this source IP going toward this particular destination IP on this particular destination port should be allowed, right? Or connection coming from this IP should be disallowed to any IP. That is completely SUN. Got it? So these are the static rule or static policy that you can create to whitelist or blacklist any connection, any IP. Okay.
Sir, small doubt, sir. Blue code proxy is the tool by which we can do the blacklisting or whitelisting thing.
Let me cover the proxy. The next session is proxy, right?
Okay,
Your
sir.
firewall,
Sir, thank you.
your firewall works on a both port and IP. Any allowing any IP, any port number will be done by the firewall. Get it, mind? Understand? Your funda should be clear. You understand? Blacklisting, whitelist means what you want to blacklist? IP or port? Of course, you have to do on the firewall itself. Yes or no? If you want to block a URL, Facebook has to be blocked. Get it? Because what will happen is, if I have to block facebook.com, right? I should know what is, if I know what is the IP address of Facebook, I can block the IP address of Facebook. Yes or no? But some device, some URL, some website are having multiple IPs. Yes or no? This big website are having multiple backend servers, having multiple IPs, all have been mapped with same domain to give the load balancing or for the backup perspective. Get a point? Yes or no? So if you block those websites based on the IP address, you have to find out the IP address. May be possible that currently you have added this 10 IP address, right? This company has set up more servers. Now 20 more IP was there. You had not blocked it. People will access the particular website. Particular website will be accessible because now connections are going towards another IP. Yes or no? Get it? So in that case, if you're blocking the IP address, maybe it is not, full solution of blocking particular website. Get it? We'll talk about another solution that we call as proxy for that. Get it? So now you understand, right? This is WAF. Maybe it's somewhere here, and now it was WAF. May switch. You may have some other computers. You may have WAF here, right? Okay, so now you understand that in case any connection coming in, right? Firewall will check layer 3 layer information, allow or disallow. If traffic is going on port number 443 or port number 80, means it's accessing the website, it will also pass through the WAF. Get it, mind? Now there is a possibility. That now, let's say, attacker has sent an email. Attacker, this is the, let's say this is the IP of the attacker. This is the system of the attacker. 199.0.5.200. This is the IP address of attacker system, right? Attackers now going to send up email which is having the malware attachment, or which is a phishing email, will look like legitimate, right? But actually to gather some critical information from your employee, right? I'll tell you later what are the different type of emails we have. So let's say it's a malware email having malware attachment. Malware, understand, right? So malware means malicious software. You could watch my video. What is malware? What are different type of malwares? Like ransomware, radwares. You will have you'll have Trojan horse. Different type. What are different type of malwares? Right? What is malware? What are different type of malwares? And if malware get installed on your system, what action you can take? That's a detailed video you can watch on my YouTube channel. That's the homework for you. You write it down. I'll give the brief information here because I have to continue this topic. However, detailed video you can see on my YouTube channel. Okay, very important.
Do we have TTL on the firewall?
What?
Do we have TTL on the firewall? TTF list, active list.
Active list. Who is asking
TTL? TTL, time to leave.
So what?
Do we have TTL list on the firewall so that we
For
can?
what purpose? For what purpose you are referring for TTL?
For IP address to give certain time to block.
Can you elaborate? In what scenario?
Like if there is a dynamic IP address and used for any attack, so and then it is assigned it to a legitimate user. So if
no, it's not a TTL. See, it's not a TTL. It's not the list I said is dynamic, right? Dynamic, updating regularly by the. He's saying that if any IP is like right now it is blacklisted and later on whitelisted, not it is with good users, right? Then still firewall will block it, right? So you understand that the list is dynamic, which updated by cloud is dynamic. If right currently that IP address is blacklisted, it will be there on the list. Once vendor will come to know that IP address is good with good hand, right? Then again dynamic list will be updated and that list will be removed. Vendor will have access on the firewall to add any entry on the list and to delete any entry. Might be the IP address which were blacklisted before, not blacklisted right now. They will remove those IP, or there might be possible some IP which were not blacklisted before but blacklisted now. Right now, they will add those IP address. Got it, mind? That is the reason we call it dynamic list, because that list
manually we want to do.
Manually, then manually you put yourself. You put yourself. I have not seen. I don't think see the requirement also, but I have not seen what you are thinking that manually you allow.
So that can be done by routers actually.
Manually, you want to allow for certain times. Right? I have not seen.
Yes, certain time period blocking can be done by routers, time-based access list.
Maybe it is having on some other. See, I am explaining the core
time-based access list.
I am explaining here the core function. I'm not explaining the deep down the firewall. I'm explaining the core function of the firewall, right? I'm talking about like how bike works. It have two wheels. It has gear. It has clutch. That I'm explaining you. Get it? Different bike have different accessories, add-on feature, right? That I'm not explaining. I'm talking about the core function of the firewall. Now this function also having this function also. I'm not explaining that. Get it? If it is full-fledged firewall training, I would have explained you. Okay. So now,
thank you, sir.
Okay, yeah. Now you can see this this particular this particular system, right? Attackers having this particular IP address, right? Attackers now may be possible that you have the firewall, you have the WAF, right? May be possible that attacker may send an email which are having malicious attachment, malware attachment. Yes or no? And in this case, attacker IT is not blacklisted, means not there on the firewall ACL. Once the packet come and hit to the router will just open the layer 3 information and check what is the source IP, what is the destination IP. Let's say this is one of the destination IP, right? And it will check the route and will give the route. Yes or no? Then packet will hit to the firewall. Firewall again check the source IP, destination IP, and check whether IP address is blacklisted or not. If it is so, IP address is not blacklisted, then it will check what is the port number. Yes or no? If port number is not allowed, still even the IP address is not blacklisted, it will still deny. But here, while you send the email address, email, what will be the destination port number? For email, right? Whenever I send an email to someone, right? What will be the destination port number?
25.
Port number 25.
25.
SMTP. SMTP port number is 25. Well known.
25.
I hope you are doing the homework. Well known ports, right? Sending the email means port number 25. By default, any organization do not restrict any email. Yes or no? If IP address is not suspicious, then port number is 25, resulting email will be delivered. Yes or no? Firewall does not check what is there in the attachment. Firewall does not have this access on the data, right? Firewall only have, right? Mute your mic, please. Firewall only have the visibility on the header. Let's check. This is the source IP, that is the destination IP, and destination port is 25, and IP is not blacklisted. Firewall will allow the traffic, resulting the email has been delivered to this user. This user has opened the email because email looks like legitimate email. You are seeing, right? You won the lottery of 5 crores, 5 lakhs lottery you won, right? Your manager has requested, let's say you got an email saying like email ID looks like same as your manager email ID. And he asks you to transfer some fund to some particular account. Yes or no? This is one of the example of phishing email, which look like legitimate email are having, asking your manager to transfer the fund. Yes or no? So for example, it has some attachment. For example, it has some malware attachment, and it's showing that your monthly order, your monthly health order. Kindly find the monthly health order detail. You got an email saying that, hi Sulabh, kindly find your monthly health order detail. It was having some Excel Word file. Yes or no? You're curious, what is the email? Let me open it. Of course, you will open it to check, even though you are not expecting that email, but still some people will open it. That is the do's. That comes are do's and don'ts. We are sending the email, we are sending these do's and don'ts to the people, that any email that you're not expecting. Yes or no? But yeah, I have not ordered anything with regard to my health from that particular company. What is the domain name? You can see email ID. I have not ordered anything, right? How I got the order detail? I should actually not open that email until unless I have not evaluated, I have not analyzed. Of course, people who are non-technical, who are not from security people, they will not analyze. Yes or no? But we are telling that if you receive any email which look like legitimate, but you are not intended to receive it, you're not expecting that email, do not open it. Inform it to the Security Operations Center SOC team to check whether it's legitimate or not. Anyways, whether email is legitimate or not legitimate, right? I'm not expecting it. Yes or no? I should not open it. Yes or no? You inform to Security Operations Center. Nowadays in Outlook, there is an optional report spam, report phishing. So once you click on report, mail will be sent to the security SOC team, or you can forward that email to SOC team if you want, if you don't have that feature. Get mind? So your name is Suraj. Has received this email, right? That your monthly health order. You are excited. What is this email? Let me open this. Right? It was having attachment Word or Excel kind of attachment. He opened that email. He found that what is written it is not related to me. He has closed it and he started doing his own work. He continue doing his work. He does not know that it was not an Excel sheet. It is not a Word sheet. It was actually a malware, means malicious software. Once he opened it, it has been installed. That malware that we call as type of malware called a Trojan, right? That malware, one of the malware type is Trojan, right? The Trojan has been installed on your system. Once he clicked to open it, right? Once he clicked to open, the Trojan has been installed in his system. He does not know. He does not know. He just opened it and he started doing his own work. The Trojan has been installed on his system. Now, once it will get installed, it will give the command and control to attacker command and control server. It will give the control to attacker command and control server. This Trojan or malware, what you call, it's a Trojan is one type of malware. Okay, so this malware is having string, having script, right? Once it will get installed, it will connect to the attacker command and control server. Right now, you do not know, you are continuing work. You do not know that somebody else is also there inside your system. That's called a backdoor. Now this malware will create the backdoor and give the control to the attacker command and control server. Get mind? Now you understand that what can, even a single email. Let's understand what all things can be happen. Right? Once it give command and control to the attacker command and control server attacker have multiple options. Attacker may check what is data, may exfiltrate the data, means some critical data on your system. Attacker may steal that information. Attacker may modify, maybe depend on what is the motive of attacker. What was the motive of attacker to send this email to get the command and control? Depends the motive of the attacker. If attacker motive was to very system, I have to steal some project related information, he might steal some information, or maybe he has to manipulate, alter some critical information. Yes or no? He might be doing that activity, or might be possible that the attacker has to, it may be a type of another malware called ransomware. The attacker motive was, to encrypt, to lock all the files and ask for the money. Yes or no? So attacker may encrypt your whole system in all different type of. You will have extension of file, which all file will be encrypted. Encrypted means, you understand, right? Encrypt means not readable. There should be a decryption key to decrypt it. In the company, your laptop disk is also encrypted, and it has been mapped with your username. Once you enter your username, then only you can read the data, right? Otherwise, your disk is encrypted. In case you lost your software, you lost your laptop, right? Your company data will not be lost. Means nobody can see the data because it requires a decryption key. Anybody access that laptop, also open the laptop, he will not be able to read. He will not be able to what is data inside, because data will be encrypted. Get in mind? So attacker may install this malware and attack this malware may be the type of ransomware. Yes or no? And your data, your files will be encrypted, and it may leave one HTML message which will open the browser saying that your data, all your files on your system have been encrypted with 2048 bit key encryption. If you want your data back, kindly send this much of money on below account. If this account does not work, then use below link. They will give multiple options. They will give 5 to 10 options. If this does not work, then this. They will ask money on bitcoins, virtual currencies, not rupees or dollar, and virtual currencies, right? So you pay, then only your system will get decrypted. Get in mind? Yes or no? And there is no confirmation, or there is no guarantee also. Sometimes you end up paying, maybe the decryption key they will not send, or it may not work because you don't have direct contact with them, right? But okay, I have paid, please decrypt it. You start following him, please call, please decrypt it. You start calling. There is no such contact. Get in mind? So that is one of the example. Your system file will get locked. There might be possible that attacker may install crypto mining software, malware, crypto mining. After taking command and control, attacker have the option to deploy certain other software to achieve different work. Attacker may deploy some crypto mining software. Crypto mining software, crypto mining means cryptocurrency calculation, like Bitcoin. Bitcoin, you hear about Bitcoin. Bitcoins are cryptocurrency, right? So there's a complex calculation to audit, to calculate, right? Cryptocurrency, very complex calculation mechanism that is called as crypto mining, right? So if you do the crypto mining, you can earn money by doing the crypto mining. But it requires a lot of CPU. Those software in order to run those software, it requires huge amount of CPU and memory RAM. And if you do the crypto mining for one system, how much you can earn? Yes or no? Then what attacker do is attacker control multiple machines. They install crypto mining software. They will not harm your system. They will not steal any data. Their motive is not to steal any data or harm your system. Only thing is they will use your system resources to do the crypto mining. If they will, so now instead of one system, they will control multiple systems across the world, deploy the crypto mining software and do the crypto mining and earn money. If your system has suddenly, you see that there is a hike in memory and CPU utilization, even though you have not installed anything, even though you are not doing anything, still memory and CPU utilization is high, there might be possible that the system has been compromised and installed some crypto mining software. Get in mind? Another thing that attacker can do is, attacker now, this system has been compromised, right? attacker is controlling the machine? Yes or no? If you do some changes on the system, even though you have not done it, but some changes are happening on the system, right? Yes, you have, as a human, you have not done it, right? You see automatic some activity happening. Yes or no? Means some robotic activity happening, robotic. So this system has been controlled by attacker. We will call as bot has been installed. Bot means robot. This system is functioning as a robot, right? Without any manual intervention, it's working, doing some activities, right? We call a robot has been installed. Means bot. Bot is a short form of robot. The system is functioning robotically after attacker got the control. We will call as the system has a bot. Bot means robot. Yes, means this bot मिला यार network पे हमारे system में bot था और में robot means the system is controlled by attacker outside people. We call it bot. One system has a robotical activity, we call a bot, right? If multiple systems have the same activity, we call a botnet. Get it? So botnet is nothing. It's a network, a group of compromised computers. The system is compromised. We call it bot. A multiple computer compromise. This is a network of bot. We call as botnet. Right? Maybe possible that once attacker compromise one machine, it will try to compromise other machine. This machine is compromised now, right? Now in internal network, it may try to get the control of this machine. It may try to get the control of this machine, other machine, in order to create the botnet. After creating botnet, attacker may launch some attack from your system. Yes or no? You might have heard about DOS and DDoS, denial of service and distributed denial of service. What is DOS attack and what is DDoS attack? DOS and DDoS, distributed denial of service. So now attacker may use your system to attack to some other companies. That is called a DDoS. What is DOS and DDoS? I have created the video for that. DOS and DDoS, that's a homework for you. What is DOS and DDoS? So what is the intention? So generally, let me explain you here, just a brief. Generally what happens is, generally DOS or DDoS is being launched to make, so what will happen is, they will hit one particular application, let's say Amazon. From multiple systems, right? They will generate huge number of connections from these systems. Maybe 1,000 connections in 1 minute from one particular system, and they will target to one of the web applications. And web application generally, let's say for SIEM XPERT. SIEM XPERT daily around 1 minute, 1,000 connections are coming on SIEM XPERT, right? We have assigned the resources so that it can serve up to 2,000, because 1,000 is generally user coming. 2,000, it can serve up to 2,000, right? What will happen is 10,000 people are accessing. Server resources will not be available. Yes or no? Because server have the capacity to serve 2,000 people. Yes or no? Now if 10,000 connections come, more than 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 coming in, server will not be able to serve those requests. Yes or no? Understand? Because server is having that much of resources only. It not be able to serve. May possible. So in that case, what will happen is, one particular server they have to target web application, right? So they will send huge number of fake requests. Huge number of fake requests. Server resources will be overutilized and bandwidth will be choked. If this server is there, right? I have 10,000, 1,000 user accessing. So I have this small pipe internet bandwidth to access. Yes or no? If more than 3,000 coming, the pipe is fully blocked. Other people will not be accessible. My server will not be, web application will not be available, saying that the website there you have to reach is not reachable, or page cannot be like that, or server is busy. Yes or no? Get in mind? Because resources bandwidth has been overutilized. So attacker targets such website to overload. Get in mind? I've given multiple example, one good example on that particular video, that maybe Flipkart and Amazon example I have given, that sale is going on, and Flipkart wants that, okay, given Diwali sale, everybody is buying from Amazon only, not from Flipkart, not from Flipkart. So Flipkart is down for 2-3 hours, traffic will switch to the, Amazon is down for 2-3 hours, traffic will switch to the Flipkart, right? So let's do the flood of fake, send the flood of fake requests. Those are not actual user browsing. Fake requests, if fake requests will come, either server will be choked resource will be choked, and new request, actually user when it's in the Amazon will not be available. Yes or no? You have to buy on the valid time. If you're not buying, if Amazon is not accessible, definitely you'll buy from Flipkart. Second most preference, traffic will shift to the Flipkart, right? So this kind of attack, in order to make, the intention of the attack is to make sure, to ensure the web application or web services should not be available to the legitimate users. It will send huge flood of fake requests, fake connections. Yes or no? Bandwidth get choked, server resource will get blocked, and there might be possible that because of overutilization of resources, server will get down also. You might have heard about the new DDoS attack. This company DDoS attack has came on this news. Pata nahi apne dikhai ki nahi, but many of the news are coming DDoS. That particular company has been attacked with the DDoS attack. This is to make the intent servers web application unavailable for legitimate user. DDoS is mostly coming on the web application only. DDoS is coming with the web because in that case, attacker had direct IP of the particular server. Direct IP. Generally, internal resource with the internal IP, they cannot directly attack. Yes or no? But those servers, application having the direct public IP, and that has to be accessible for the normal user, right? For the business. If they will send huge number of fake requests, the services and application will not be available for legitimate user, right? So in that case, what will happen is attacker will compromise certain system and create the botnet, right? So see why botnet. So botnet is not something that this DDoS is being initiated by one system only. In one system, we have software where from one system itself you can raise 1 lakh requests per second per minute, fake connections. But what will happen is once particular company will come to the connection, fake connection to particular IP, they will block it. Yes or no? They will block the IP in the firewall. Simply attack will be stopped. Attackers are very smart. They will not initiate the attack from one system. They will initiate the attack from multiple systems with multiple geographical location. Maybe some of the IP are from India, from Delhi, Mumbai, Kolkata, from Saudi Arabia, South Africa, Iran, North Korea, US. Yes or no? They will have the full network of we call as botnet. Multiple, the network of compromised computers called as botnet. So DDoS attack is generally being initiated by the botnet. Yes or no? By the botnet. So there may be intentional work of the attacker is to install the malware and create the botnet. Yes or no? Now, if this computer, so majority of the time, the DDoS is being initiated by the botnet only. Group of compromised computer. In the market of the dark web, you can see that DDoS has a service also. DDoS has a service. Attacker is giving services also. Let's say I want the data, right? I want this 𝐓𝐫𝐚𝐢𝐧𝐢 data. I want to utilize, misuse malicious 𝐓𝐫𝐚𝐢𝐧𝐢 data, right? But I'm not that intelligent. I'm not that technical that I can have that data. I can compromise the data. Attackers, majority of the time, attackers are not using that data themselves. They are selling it to the people who are looking for it, right? Like you have heard about the 𝐓𝐫𝐚𝐢𝐧𝐢 data, they have been compromised, and now the 𝐓𝐫𝐚𝐢𝐧𝐢 data is on sale on dark web. Yes or no? People from China may buy it, or some other location which are, we want to target India, which want to harm a particular institute, a particular company, they may buy that data. 𝐓𝐫𝐚𝐢𝐧𝐢 data has some VIPs data like actors, political influence people, those kind of people data we have. Now the data is being sold on the dark web. Similarly, in the dark web, various type of malware services, DDoS services, we report attack as a service, cyber attack as a service, DDoS as a service, right? That kind of plans are available. I want to target one company, right? So I have the option, okay, you buy DDoS. So how many packet, how many connections per second you want to send, from how many hosts you want to send. Get it right? That kind of services are available. So if you want to attack some company, you don't have to attack yourself. You can buy a DDoS service. Get your mind? So now how attacker will create the botnet? Maybe this particular company has been compromised because you have opened that email. That is incomplete. Maybe other user has not opened and also has not received it. Now attacker is already inside. Yes or no? It can try to gain the access of other computer to get the botnet. May possible that it will install further software that is called brute force software. That is called as brute force. देखो कितने सारी चीजें कवर brute force. Brute नहीं ये नहीं स्पेलिंग होती. Multiple things came on the same scenario only. Same topic. Brute force attack. What is brute force attack? Brute force attack. Anybody knows what is brute force attack?
You're trying to gain access with multiple passwords.
Right.
Breaking the passwords.
Right, correct. So the brute force attack means gaining the unauthorized access to any application, any device, gaining the unauthorized access, right? It's called as brute force attack. Right? So let's say you found my mobile, right? You found my mobile. Now you don't know the password. Yes or no? Now you'll enter different password to gain the access. You're actually doing the brute force to gain the access of it. Because you are not authorized person, right, to access the mobile. Either you've stolen it or you found it somewhere. Means you have it, right? Now you're entering multiple passwords to gain the access. So this is actually the attack that you are doing. That is called as brute force attack. Now, brute force attack can given any device, any application which require the user ID and password. They require the authentication. Authentication means
Sir, having the real credentials.
Validating the identity.
Authentication means verifying or validating the identity. Right? Yes or no? You enter the username and enter the password. Yes or no? If you're legitimate, so this process is called as authentication. Once you enter username and password, it will check whether the username and password combination is correct or not. Right? This process is called as authentication. Right? If authentication is successful, that means you are the authorized person. It was the authorized activity. You are authorized person. Yes or no? Means you are authorized. If you are entering wrong password, means you are not authorized. This user is not authorized because you are entering the wrong password or wrong username, means you are not authorized. If combination is correct, means you are authorized. Yes or no? So any application, any device can be attacked with brute force, which are having this authentication mechanism. That means either might be only password or username password or any other things which required to gain the access. Yes or no? Can be attacked with brute force. It means you can try one username and try multiple password of one password by multiple users to gain the unauthorized access. This is called as brute force. Brute force attack. Brute force attack is an attack to gain the unauthorized access of a device or on an application, on a device or on an application by entering the multiple username or multiple password or combination of user and password, right? You can attempt multiple times. Let me check this work. Let me check this work. Yes or no? But manually you can't do that, right? Because manually you can't. It's difficult to find manually because there's so many combination, right? How you may have to try lakhs of password, right? Lakhs of password to gain the access, even more than that. You cannot manually keep doing that. Keep doing. आज मैंने 100 कर लिए, कल 200 कर लेता हूँ, कल 300 कर लेता हूँ. You cannot do that like that, right? Because it may requires lakhs of crores of attempts to gain the access. Yes or no? Higher the length, more the complex, right? That's the reason nowadays it's being told that you should have 8 characters password and should have alphanumeric in capital letter. You'll have at least 1 to 3 capital letters. Then you have special characters. Yes or no? Then you have numbers, combination of all. Because if you add all 3 capital letters, special characters and numbers, right? And small letters means 4 type of character, right? May more and more combination can be created, permutation and combination. Yes or no? So more combination means more difficult, more complex to crack, more complex password and more difficult to crack. Yes or no? So attacker, you should not think that attacker will keep one username and manually will try one username, one password, one password, one password. No, there are some software which having script called automation. Yes or no? Even entering human manually, you can't enter much, right? So one script, attacker can create one script, right? Script means automation. It may enter one username and it has the library of crores of passwords, right? Once you run this script, it will send a username here and try multiple password 1,000 times within a minute. More than 1,000 times you can try. As a human, you cannot try 1,000 times. Yes or no? You cannot try 1,000 times as a human. So it can try 1,000 times. Maybe one password will work. Even lakhs of time you have option to try it here, right? Maybe one password may work, combination of username and password, and attacker will gain the access. Yes or no? That's the reason nowadays to avoid this brute force, you might be fed up saying that again captcha is coming, right? Yes or no? You might have seen in some website verified that you are not robot. You are not a robot. Robot is nothing but a script. Website is trying to understand that you are not a robot, means you are not doing brute force. You are a human, because when this script will try, right? Script will not come to know what is captcha. It can only capture username and password and try. If it is a software script, it will not be able to enter the captcha. Human who is entering, he may read the captcha and enter it. That's the reason, to avoid this brute force, these companies or sites are giving the captcha nowadays, so that brute force software will not be able to enter the captcha. But attackers are very intelligent. Previously, long days before, you see some text is written in the website itself. Some text is written 𝐴5𝐺F. Some text is written like what other text is written, same way, right? But now attacker has developed the software which can read this text. Every time they can read this text. Get it, mind? So now security companies also like doing R&Ds, what attacker is doing to ensure that attacker will not be able to do that. Then they started giving these texts not on the website directly, text on the based on the images now. Now it is an 𝐴5𝐺F, but in the form of image. In the form of image, you might be seeing this growth, right? Initially, we have seen the text, then it came in it's written, but on the image. Text reading, capturing the text on the image is difficult, right? Image. The attacker, manual attacker may have cracked this one also. That is also not fully secure nowadays, which are coming the text on the image, right? Now, more robust security is to identify which all images are having vehicles, which all images are having buses, which are having road cross. These kind of images are coming nowadays. Yes or no? Now it's very, very difficult. As of now, there is no solution for that. Get it, mind? Because you can not easily find out, right? Even being a human also, sometimes we do the wrong selection. Being a human, because अगर बस होगा तो कहीं इतना सा होगा, कहीं छोटा सा बस होगा, कहीं बड़ा होगा, कहीं साइड में है, कहीं नीचे है, somewhere here, somewhere other, right? So you will get 5-6 images where you have to find out where the vehicle, where the firefighter. Yes, so different images you have to select to identify that you are a human. Only human can select it, not a software as of now, right? To avoid this brute force. Yes or no? So attacker may do one thing. Attacker may install the brute force software in the system. One system get compromised, attacker may install the brute force software. It is having combination of username and password, right? Getting, finding out the user is not very difficult. Yes or no? Username generally have some standard, first name dot last name, half first name to last name, only first name, like that. It's not very difficult to find out the username. Yes or no? Because SIEM XPERT, many companies are working, many people are working on company and have LinkedIn profile, and they know what is the first name, what is the last name. Yes or no? It's not very difficult to find out the combination. So username is not very difficult. Difficult is password. Now they got the username already. They install the brute force software. Now they also knows that every computer will have internal IP. Yes or no? Now they will target this particular system with username, one username, and multiple combination of password. Right? So in this case, multiple maybe attacker may try multiple times, and resulting maybe one password will work, and attacker will gain the access. Yes or no? That is called brute force attack. This attack is called as brute force, means gaining the unauthorized access. So maybe malware get installed, and attacker may try to create the botnet, or may try to gain the access of other machine after compromising particular machine. So attacker may have multiple motives, depend on what objective attacker is having. Multiple things attacker can do when particular machine is compromised. Yes or no?
Sir, one small doubt, sir.
1 moment, 1 moment. So what happens is, generally when you do the SOC, right, you will work on the SOC, you'll get an alert also that brute force attempt detected, brute force attack attempt detected, or successful brute force attack happen, right? Brute force means gaining the unauthorized access, right? So sometimes you see that particular username from particular username multiple, because whenever you try once, right, every time this device will generate a log saying that from particular source IP to particular destination using particular username, try to access and login got failed. Yes, no? So if this system, this user try 100 times, then 100 event will be generated, the 100 time login got failed. So we understand that legitimate user will not try 100 times. He may try 2-3 times. Maybe he has forgot the password. He will call help desk team to reset the password. Yes or no? If within a short period of time, if you see the huge number of login failure attempt, it can be the brute force attempt. Maybe system is compromised and attacker trying to do the brute force. In that case, we should get an alert. If such activity happening within a short period of time, same username, multiple failure attempt happen, it may be the sign of brute force attack. Somebody is trying to attempt. It is not successful. Once attacker gain the access, it can be successful. If attacker is not gaining the access as of now, it will call a brute force attempt. If after multiple failure, success event came, successful login, we call a successful brute force attack. Successful brute force attack. After multiple failure login, one successful attempt generated event, right? Means attacker after 100 login, attacker has successfully logged into the system. We call a successful brute force attack, and that is having more severity. And when fail login brute force attempt means even it may be attacker, but attacker has not gained the access. Attacker has not gained the access, right? But another one, attacker has successfully gained the access. So these are one of the rule that you are alerted that you are going to monitor in the SOC and analyze what is the system, what is the username, whether the user is doing the activity or is infected, then how the malware has came. You see the firewall log, you see the email gateway, another log I'll tell you, right? To check how the attacker has came, malware has been received only for the system or some other user also received it. Yes or no? Whether they have opened it or not. Huge investigation analysis you can do it. To ensure that if this machine is compromised, other machines should not be compromised. Maybe other user has received even they have not opened it yet. You can check with them and you can ask them to delete it. It's a full investigation that I'll tell you in the later part. Get it? So understand that if malware has came in your system, what all things can be done? Yes or no? Multiple things. Attacker have multiple ways. It depends on the objective of the attacker. Yes or no? You had some question. Ask me.
Sir, you said brute force is spreading of credentials. But
what?
By default, when we log in our Windows machine, we can only enter 3 times, no, sir. When the 4th time we enter the incorrect password, it is automatically logged, no.
So that is to avoid brute force attack, right? Because as a human, you may not try 3-4 times. It's not something. It's not a default. It's not a default. You try login on your system, it will never get locked. It's not a default. It's not a default policy. You cannot say
Okay,
the
sir.
default rule. It's the rule that our server team, our system, our infrastructure team creates to avoid the brute force. You log in your system, create user ID and password, log in your system, 100 times you log in, it will not get locked.
Okay, sir.
Yes or no? Until you
Yes.
create the lockout policies. So to avoid this brute force, we create lockout policies. So that, let's say, if any user, legitimate user will not try 10 times, 15 times, 100 times. Yes or no?
Yes.
3 times I will try it, 4 times. If I'm not able to access it still, because first time, let's say you login field, maybe you have misspelled the wrong spelling of your password, you will try again. So you understand, right? First time when you enter, if login got failed, you become more careful and check the words carefully whether you are writing correct or not. Again, word failed. अरे लगता है मैंने पासवर्ड दूसरा दिया था. I think I have different password. You will try that password now. That
Yes,
is
sir.
not
Got
working.
it, sir.
No matter either, still not working. So 3, 4, 5 times you will try maximum. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
But if somebody is trying 10 times, 15 times, 20, if 3 times, 4 times it will not work, you will call to help desk. You thinking that you might have forgot the password, right? You are not able to remember. You call to service desk, ask them to restate your password.
Yes, sir.
You will not try 15 times, 29, right? If anybody
Yes.
trying 15 times, 20 times within a short period of time, it can be the brute force attack. So to avoid brute force, attack in the Windows, you will have 3 attempts lockout, 5 attempts lockout, 8 attempts lockout policy. So in majority of the company, you will have the lockout policy deployed on a Windows especially to avoid the brute force attack. But in case still we have this rule, that's the reason this Windows brute force attempt is a low severity incident. If you see 100 login failure happen on one of the Windows device, alert has been generated. But we know that in our Windows, we have lockout policy. So even attacker is trying to gain the access, he will not be able to, because account must have been locked out. But still is an incident, still is an alert, because whenever you log in, account has been locked out, account will be failed, right? Failed to log in because of lockout. It failed to log in. Yes or no? So
Yes,
attacker does not know. It's a script, right? It can try 100 times. 100 attempt will be generated, alert will be generated. That's the reason this alert is not high severity. This is a low severity attack alert, because we know that we have lockout policy. Even attacker may try 1,000 times. After 1,000 times, even he write the correct password also, still it will not be accessible because account has been locked out. But why then? Why it is alert then? Why we need to? If we know that we have the lockout policy, why do we need to create the alert? What do you think that? You know, your Windows system is having account lockout policy. Even attacker is trying, account will get locked. Yes or no? And resulting attacker will not be able to access it. But then why I created this alert on our SOC? Why I monitor this alert, then brute force attempt detected? Why do you need that? Anybody?
To reset the password.
Why to reset? Because attacker does not write. Attacker cannot crack in 3 attempts only. Let's say half an hour. Generally, people are giving the policy. Okay, if the account lockout, your account lockout, you'll call service desk, reset it again. So many will forget the password and try to call service desk after lockout to unlock the account, right? So generally, company 30 days, 45 days, 1 hour, automatically your account will get unlocked. Yes or no? So again, attacker may try. Attacker will try 3 times on the account locked out. It's not easy to crack, because in Windows we have created a policy that once you create the password, right, it should be 8 character and having combination of alphanumerical special character as well as capital letters. Yes or no? So it's not easy to crack it. 3 attempts you will crack it. 3 attempts you can crack it means you know the password. Then only you'll be able to log in. Otherwise, brute force you will not be able to log in. Yes or no? So that is the reason. So now we know that our password will not be cracked, means brute force is very difficult, right? Then attacker may try 100 times because of the account lockout. He is not able to log in, and resulting alert has been generated from the system saying that brute force attempt has been detected from this particular user, this particular machine. Why do we need this alert? We know that our system is secure. Yes or no? Then why do we need it?
We need to know what somebody is trying to break our system and where from it is coming and all.
Yes, that's the correct answer. Even though we know that our system is difficult to crack, right? Difficult to gain the access, but we should know, right? Somebody inside. Yes or no? Attempting this. Yes or no? We have to find out who is that, how he has come. Yes or no? If he's not getting access, he may do something else. So that is the reason we should know that somebody inside, and that is the reason we investigate the particular incident. Yes or no? So you understand that if one malware email has been delivered to your system, what all things can happen? Encrypt your system, crypto mining, steal the data, creating the botnet, doing the brute force attack. Yes or no? So this is the homework. What is brute force attack? This is the homework for you. What is the brute force attack? What is DDoS? What is malware? Right? And another homework. What is brute force attack? That's the only thing you have to tell. But I want you to go through in detail. Get in mind? Brute force is nothing. It is nothing but gaining the unauthorized access by entering the combination of username and password. Right? It may be initiated by using some script that is there on the brute force software. Right? Get in mind? So by putting one username, you can try with multiple password. Brute force will have the library of password. Or if you know the if let's say you know, right? Some people have the habit to give the password welcome@1234. Yes or no? Google @1234. Attacker knows that these are popular passwords. Right? Now attacker can keep one password Google @1234 and give the combination of all username which is there on the company. Yes or no? Maybe one of user has given the password welcome@1234. It may work. That's the reason it is not easy. It's not recommended to keep this kind of easy passwords. Yes or no? So alphanumeric, and do not keep Google @1234 or Sulabh @1234. Some people are having habit, right? Giving this kind of. Some people are having habit to give the same password everywhere, same email ID, same password everywhere. Yes or no? Some people are saying that, yeah, my Facebook account has been hacked. My Facebook account has been hacked. Please do not respond to any message or something. So yeah, your Facebook account, you are thinking that Facebook has been hacked, right? You're thinking that some people are calling that, can you hack my girlfriend Facebook account? I want to see. Literally, they are calling. Some people are calling. They're thinking that this is cybersecurity hacking and all. Searching on Google, right? They're asking, can we hack this account? Can you hack the Gmail account? But yeah, hacking Facebook, Gmail is not an easy. If you can hack, you'll get crores of rupees as a reward from Facebook and Gmail, Google. It's not easy. Your Facebook is not hacked. You only given the credential to someone else. It's not something that somebody hacked, log in the Facebook server and somebody has stolen your credential. You have given your credential to someone else. This Kapil was, he has to go to now. This is coming, right? What celebration? What festival is coming now? Christmas time. He has a holiday of 7 days because you are working for one of the US-based company, and Christmas, US, we celebrate Christmas for 7 days, 10 days. People goes on long vacations, and resulting people who are working for US companies, they also get the vacations. There was no work that time. So all at the end of the year vacation holidays leaves he take on the Christmas time only. So he was searching to he is from Jabalpur. So he was thinking that let me go to Jabalpur, let him take the vacation. So he checked or make my trip because today only just one week after he has to go. He checked 15,000 is the the flight cost, 15,000 flight price. Then he said flight price very huge, 15,000 very costly. Then he searched in Google, book cheapest flight from Bangalore to Jabalpur, cheapest flight. He searched. Then he got to know one website, Alibaba.com. Alibaba.com, and Alibaba.com, instead of 15,000, he got only just for 4,500. Cheapest 4,500. He got very happy. Itna sasta flight here, 4,500 only. Alibaba.com, he heard first time. We never heard the name for flight booking. For example, I'm just giving an example. Alibaba.com, first time he heard the name, but he was thinking very cheaper cost. He clicked on that. Now you are saying, okay, for which date you want to go, select and book the flight. You get the detail. Now, in order to continue booking, you have to sign up. You have to create the account. Now he clicked on, he was in a hurry. He clicked on sign up, and now he has to enter your name, your email ID, your password, and everything. He has the habit of giving same email ID and same password everywhere. But he's thinking, how many password I'll remember? Yes or no? He has given his Gmail ID and the same password, which same email ID, same password he has used on Facebook also, Gmail also, and some other, everywhere he has used. Banking also, he has the habit of same password. Bank also, ICICI Bank, Axis Bank, he has salary account, everywhere same username, same password, same email ID, same password. Got in mind? Now he created the account has been created. Account has been created. Now he tried to book, but somehow flight could not be booked. Then he left it. He left that, and he is compulsion to go with my trip of ATM and all. He booked it. He did not realize that website was phishing website. Look like legitimate, attractive. This phishing emails, phishing website will be always attractive. It looks attractive that book the cheapest flight, but that is the phishing website, means your personal information has been stolen. You yourself has given your email ID password to the attacker. Now you are saying that your Facebook account has been hacked. And same account you have mentioned on Facebook also, Gmail also, and ICICI Bank also, everywhere. Now attacker gain the access of your username, password, email ID, name, everything. Yes or no? Now he'll access to the Facebook account and ask money from your friends. Yes or no? Now he will Gmail also, OTP and everything you'll get on Gmail, he'll verify and doing some fund transfer. Yes or no? That is we who has given the information. Nowadays, you understand the reachability of internet is increasing day by day. People who are not at all technical, not educated, those people are also using their mobiles. And you know that our banking system is also digitalized now. Either you are educated, not educated, you will have internet banking, you will have debit card, OTP and everything. It's not something that you are not educated, so you can transfer the fund directly by going bank only. You will not have user ID, password and everything. Everybody has it. Everybody has got the OTP for fund transfer. Yes or no? By understanding the digitalization and by understanding attacker may compromise user's account, people account in this way. Yes or no? Then such companies started doing the multi-factor authentication. Yes or no? People are, anyone can become fool in this way. Wait, I am from technical, I am from security background. I understand that those are phishing site, but he's not technical, right? He working on one of the bank, or he working on one of the construction company, civil company. He does not know about these kind of phishing attack. He is very honest. And yeah, please mute the mic. On join kar liya. Guys, mute your mic. Please mute your mic. So what happens is, so now understanding that people may give in such way, may give their username, password to some phishing websites, some phishing emails, right? Then these companies started doing the multi-factor authentication. Now in the bank, even you are entering username and password, if you want to do fund transfer, you will receive the OTP. Even though you have given username and password to attacker, right? But without OTP, you cannot do the fund transfer. May be possible that attacker has gone your username and password, and now he is calling them, "Bhaiya, aapka account block ho gaya hai. You'll get an email to verify the PAN number." It might be they will ask you to share the OTP also, right? So nowadays, many of the banks is allowing that using the OTP and username and password, you can transfer the little amount, 2,000, 5,000. If you're transferring big amount, you have to enter the ATM grid also. Means something you remember, something you have, something you get. Multiple factor. Yes or no? Because banking is mean direct money. Direct money. Objective of every attacker is to gain the money. Yes or no? Banking means directly they are getting money. So banking may have dual and triple factor authentication, multiple factor. Here 3 factor. Even someone get stolen your mobile number, mobile also, still they cannot transfer the fund because they need to have grid. ATM card, behind ATM grid is there, right? A01, B35, like that, right? Means if attacker want to transfer money from your account, he has to steal your credentials, he has to steal your wallet also to get the ATM card, and he has to steal your mobile also. भैया जो इतना केयर नहीं कर सकता, मतलब फिर तुम पैसा रखने के हकदार ही नहीं हो. If you can't care these all three things at the same time, means you should not have money at all, because you cannot keep your money with you. Yes or no? Similarly, Facebook also nowadays is very secure. If you are accessing Facebook from new device, you have to enter the OTP. Yes or no? If you are entering Google Gmail from new device, you have to enter the OTP, or you will get the notification from on the known devices. These are multi-factor authentication. These companies also understand that even people who are not educated, they are also having the mobile in hand. They also have the Facebook account and everywhere. They also access the Google, and they will fall in the trap of these kind of phishing attacks. That's the reason they're enabling multi-factor authentication. Sometimes we think, "Yaar, ye kya hai yaar, Facebook ko OTP मांग रहा hai." It's sometimes people get fed up. Why it is asking OTP every time? Why it is asking the notification every time? This is for your security only. Multi-factor authentication to ensure their account is secure. Yes or no? Even you have given the information to the attacker by some phishing campaigns. This is the phishing website. You get the emails also, phishing emails also. Such phishing emails also come. Phishing means they will show themselves legitimate. They will show themselves as a legitimate, but those are not legitimate. To extract some critical information, proprietary information, some account related information, right? If it comes through email, we call as phishing email. If it comes through web, we call as phishing link. We call as phishing link, phishing website. Get it? Sometimes you search in Google ICICI Bank net banking. Maybe possible that attacker has also created a page ICICI Bank net banking, right? You click on that, you fill your data. That is not belong. So whenever you access any website, make sure that you know the website name, this banking website name, right? Then only you fill all the information. Maybe similar website with different name, similar name can be created by the attacker, and you fall in the trap of those attacker activities. Maybe that is not a correct website, and you enter your username, password, and everything. So nowadays there are very many phishing attacks are happening. You got any? Majorly they are targeting SBI user, SBI. You have seen, right? Your YONO account will be disabled today, or your YONO account has been disabled because you have not updated your PAN. Follow the below link to update your PAN card. Last you enter your username, password, enter the PAN number, Aadhaar number, mobile ID. Then you will receive the OTP. Enter the OTP. Each there everything. Do you know why they are following only SBI? Why? Mostly you see, right? Your YONO account, your SBI debit card has been blocked, or your SBI credit card has the reward point. This one calls also correct, message also correct. Why they are targeting only SBI? Why not?
Most of the crowd is in SBI, sir. There are a lot of crowd in SBI. On top of it, what I've observed is, in SBI there are a lot of people who are not aware of technology also.
That is 100% correct. See, many of the cloud, as you mentioned, of the SBI, many of uneducated people. देखो बेवकूफ वही बनते हैं, गरीब लोग, poor people. Mean they are stealing people who just have 20,000 in their account. They are stealing 20,000 rupees. We have lakhs of rupees in our account. They are not stealing because will not give. They are stealing money from the account. People who are uneducated, who are labor category, or who are very poor. They are having SBI account. Most of the villages. And everywhere you will see people, such kind of people will have an account in SBI, government. These people are trusting on government account only. And again, government zero balance account, this different account can be created. But ICICI Axis Bank, 25,000 you have to keep, 10,000 you have to keep balance, right? But that's the reason majority of the crowd, like uneducated people, are on the SBI. That's the reason they keep targeting SBI. Get it, mind? So there are multiple ways they are finding out to get. You won the lottery, you have to fill up this form. You will not believe that now phishing attack means nowadays not banking, they're directly asking money. One of my cousin brother got a mail, physical mail saying mentioned that you won the lot, you have a lottery number, you scratch card, and these are you have been selected one of the best best person. So we have given the free lottery. So this is the scratch card, and this is the first winning prize, second winning, third prize, fourth prize. Once he scratched the card, he found that he won the first prize, Honda car. He got the Honda car. If you scratch, if you won any of the prize, then call in this number. He called in this number that I got this on everything. He got, yes, you won the lottery now, Honda car, but now our office in Bangalore, so we have to send the car to your address through some driver. So driver cost will be 10,000 rupees. Pay 10,000 rupees, then we'll send the car to your address. He started calling to me that he's my younger cousin brother. He said, sir, भैया आप तो बेंगलोर में हो, तो थोड़ा चले जाओ वहां से, थोड़ा भेजा दो गाड़ी. So that is the trap. People are falling in the trap, right? जितना टेक्नोलॉजी इतना बढ़ रहा है, cyber attacks, cyber crimes are increasing day by day. We are using the technology, but we have to be very careful. Advantage and disadvantage. Advantage is having banking digitalization means you don't have to visit the bank. Any transfer, any receiving, in a few seconds you can receive the amount from your friend, relative, and candidate or anyone, right? But it is having disadvantage also. Taking the advantage, people can can transfer the money to their account. Attackers can take money from your account, can make your account empty. Yes or no? There are so many scams are going on, so we have to be very careful. So here we are here to secure our company network, our company data. In our company also, some people, because we have business people, right? They are not all belongs to technology, cybersecurity, not everyone from cybersecurity. So we have to ensure that our business people also do not entertain such kind of phishing emails, right? In phishing campaigns happen in the companies. People fall in the trap, right? And they open that email or they send some critical proprietary information outside. Yes or no? So we are here to secure our data inside the company. To ensure that our data, let's make proprietary data, should not go out or should not be going with the wrong hand. So it's already 10 o'clock. So tomorrow we'll be talking about the email gateway, how to secure our network from these kind of email-based attacks. Battery is running low.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
सर जनरली मैं ऑब्जर्व एक चीज किया हूँ, जो सीसीटीवी कैमरा होता है सर, उसमें क्या है जनरली कि कोई हैक करता है, वो क्या है कि इल्यूजन बना देता है कि हाँ एवरीथिंग फाइन, चाहे बैंक अगर कोई लूट कर रहा हो, उसमें लगता है हाँ नेचुरल है, बट क्या है वो चोरी करके चला जाता है और फिर बाद में पता चलता है कि हाँ जनरली वो कुछ टाइम के लिए होता है, बीइंग अ टाइम हार्डली 1 मिनट 1.5 मिनट लाइक दैट. तो ये क्या, ये भी साइबर सिक्योरिटी का ये क्राइम का पार्ट है या फिर ये भी हैकर है सर? ये
कैसा पूरा समझ में नहीं आया सीसीटीवी में क्या होता है
सर? सब कैमरा होता है ना सर, सीसीटीवी कैमरा. हाँ. इसमें क्या है कि जो एक्चुअल में अभी शो कर रहा है कि हाँ ये एरिया में ये अभी चल रहा है नॉर्मली, बट क्या होता है कि क्राइम वाले क्या करते हैं, वो जनरली क्या है कि वो टाइम के लिए वो क्या करते हैं, वो नॉर्मल कंडीशन में रखते हैं हाँ ये सब कुछ ओके, बट क्या है बैकग्राउंड में कुछ और ही चल रहा होता है, चोरी हो रहा है या समथिंग लाइक दैट, अलार्म बजता है. यस सर, पूरा तिजोरी वगैरह व्हाट एवर इट इज वो क्राइम करके चला जाता है. तो ये क्या, ये भी एक पार्ट ऑफ साइबर क्राइम है या फिर ये क्या है, ये हैकर वगैरह करते हैं?
साइबर मतलब इंटरनेट. It comes under information security, not cyber security. Cyber security one part of information security. Cyber मतलब internet threat, digital threat. ये देखो, if somebody has stolen something physically, some document you have, or something, some money or something happens, it comes under information security. Any data, whether it's in digital format or physical format, comes under the information security. Get in mind? Here we are talking about the digital security, means cyber security. Whatever attack happen virtually through digital media, that will be the part of cyber security. Get in mind? I understand that there is now some extra features CCTV coming in. Normal situation, they will learn what is the usual activities. If any unusual activity found, they will start alarming, right? You have heard about one person sitting on US, some person who they have home in India, they were in US, right? They have installed a CCTV. So they said that it's the idle activities, means there should not be any activities in their home. It should be idle only. And if any activity found at home, it should alarm. So some activity, some theft happened at that home. Somebody came inside, some activity happened, and it started alarming. They immediately called to police. Right? Police came to their home and they catch them perfectly. Right? So that is how it happens. That is about the physical security. It comes under info security, but not under cyber security.
Okay, sir.
Sometimes too much of security and too much of download is also leads to zero, sir. Recently, there was an activity where the CCTV cameras were absolutely working and someone came with absolutely covered from top to bottom. और उसके बावजूद भी पुलिस के पसीने छूट गए थे ढूंढते क्या कर लेंगे उसमें शक्ल नहीं दिख रहा कुछ भी.
Can't achieve 100% security.
Exactly. We can just only target minimal damage.
Minimal. Nothing is ideal, right? You can never say that your company or your network, your data is secure. Yes or no? Always.
Yeah.
There are opportunities. Attackers are also very intelligent. है ना? कोई तरीका ढूंढते ही रहते हैं वो. Otherwise, if attackers are not intelligent, then okay, you devise these devices and then sleep आराम से. Yes or no? You have all those devices, sleep आराम से. No need to upgrade, no need to buy new devices. Because attackers are all intelligent. See, attackers are not like physical chore that you have.
Yes, yes.
In our majority of the theft happen by the uneducated people. Here, छोटे-मोटे जो चोरी होती हैं, uneducated people, and not if educated or not that educated. Yes or no? सातर बदमाश नहीं होते. But in digital security, people are very intelligent. They are engineers. Even they are having much experience, much knowledge. They are cyber security engineer. Majority of cyber security engineer, hackers are having more knowledge.
Yes, recent AIMS server attack.
So that attackers are not like labor category or not uneducated, highly educated people.
Yes, yes.
Having a team of highly educated people, and they are attacking. So they always
actually
vulnerability.
यूएस में सर गवर्नमेंट भी करती है. यहाँ पे बिजनेसेस में सभी में कैमरा गारंटी लगाना बोलते हैं और एक्चुअली गवर्नमेंट उसमें एक्सेस करके वो बिजनेस वाला क्या क्या कर रहा है वो भी देख के पकड़े सो केसेस भी है.
हाँ, so that is what any security, either physical or security, we have to manage both, right? Physical and digital both comes under the info security. So guys, we'll wind up for the day. We'll connect to Monday now, 8 o'clock. Thank you.
Sure, sir.
Thank you
so much, sir.
I was supposed to give email gateway here, but because of so much of example, I could not cover today. But we'll be covering it on Monday now.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.